I'm Dustin and I'm an application tech here at Wet Sounds. On today's tech tip, we're going to go over the installation process for the 06 speakers into the 2015 and newer Harley Davidson Road Glide. We'll go ahead and start with the disassembly of the bike. First step will be removing the windshield. It'll be 4 bolts up front. We'll go ahead and loosen these up, just enough to remove the actual windshield. Now we can remove the windshield and set it in a safe location. Next, what we'll need to do is remove the turn signal indicator bolts. And it'll be 1 bolt from each side. Next, what we'll need to do is remove the speaker grills. There's 1 bolt behind each speaker grill. And to do that, we will use a non-marring pry tool. All right, you would pry from the inside and rotate it outward. All right, now with those grills removed, we can remove the hardware located on the inside of the grill. All right, now with that hardware removed, we'll go ahead and finish removing the windshield bolts completely. And then we'll remove the top portion of the dash. This is just 2 clips and it'll pop right out. When removing the fairing, there's going to be 2 wiring harnesses located at the top. Go ahead and unplug those harnesses. And then remove the fairing. All right, now with all that removed, we have access to the speaker pods. We'll go ahead and remove those, and it's just 4 bolts. All right, so we have 2 bolts on the side. And 2 bolts up top. You will want to unplug the wiring harness to the speakers, and there's also a clip here that retains a wiring harness. So we'll need to remove the clip that retains the wiring harness to the speaker pod. You can just use a set of needle nose pliers to aid in removing that clip. And remove it just like that. Now we can go ahead and remove the rest of the screws and unclip the speaker harness, which will be up front. All right, so now that it's unplugged, we can move the speaker pod onto the workbench. Remove the speaker from the pod and get it prepared for the 06 speakers. We'll need to modify the pods so that the 0.6 speakers can fit into them. And there's two methods available. The first method I'm going to show requires a heat gun, a metal pry tool like this, and a little bit of patience. What we'll do first is get the speaker out and test fit it so that we can see where additional clearance is needed. All right, so we'll go in, we'll test fit it, and we'll be able to see that it's hitting over here on this side right here. So we'll go ahead and get the heat gun set up, and then we'll start adding the clearance. Once the speaker pod is removed, we'll need to cut off the factory alignment pin for the speaker. Normally it's located right here, and you would just use some flush cut pliers to trim it flush. Now we will test fit the speaker to verify what additional clearance we need for the speaker to fit. Simply just set it in there and see where it's hitting. We can see that it's obviously hitting in this area since the speaker is stuck in an upward position, and this will be right in this area. What we will do to add that clearance is simply use a heat gun and a metal pry tool to add the clearance. We'll simply apply heat to the outside and the inside of the pod evenly, and once it's up to a high temperature, we'll go ahead and bend it with the pry tool. All right, now that it's been heated up, we should be able to move the plastic with the metal pry tool. All right, now that it's been modified, we can go ahead and test fit the speaker again. And as you can see, now it sits flush. Although heating the pod is our preferred method of modifying it, we do have another option if the tools are not available to you. This would be actually drilling a hole in the pod and then utilizing a sound dampening material like this to close it back up. We do have an application guide available online which provides a template that makes it very easy to cut and trim afterwards. Just like previously, first step will be to test fit the speaker and see where the clearance is needed. As you can see, the speaker will not sit flush, so the modification would need to happen right in this area. We'll start by cutting out the template that's provided. So now that the template is cut out, we'll go ahead and cut out the center of the circle. That way we'll know where to drill the hole. You can fold it into fours, snip the corner off, and then that will give you the perfect center of the template. Now that we've verified where the additional clearance is needed, we can align our template with the pod simply by lining up this edge right here with this corner, like that, and make sure that the distance is consistent through the two sides. Now we can grab our hole saw, utilizing the center hole that we cut earlier, and drill it out. Now that we have the center hole cut, we can finish cutting the hole out completely. All now that the hole is cut out completely, we can test fit the 0 speaker now. Now with the hole cut, you can see that the speaker protrudes through the hole and it sits flush now. Next, what we'll need to do to cover the hole is utilize the sound dampening material. It'll be 2 sheets, one on the inside and one mounted on the outside. All right, so the sound dampening material will be cut into roughly about 6" by 6" squares, and you'll just cover up the hole that we've created. One sheet goes on the outside, and then a second sheet will go on the inside. All right, so now that both sheets are on there, it gives a sturdy covering to the hole that's been created. Now that the pod's been modified for the speaker to fit, we can do final installation of the speaker, and we'll do that utilizing the hardware that's included with the speakers. Now that the speaker's been installed, we can go ahead and reinstall the pod onto the bike.
Is there any tricks to lining that back up?
Keep all the hardware loose until they've all been started, and then you can go back around and tighten everything up. Make sure to plug your speaker wire back into the harness after the pod's been installed. This bike has already been outfitted with a wet sounds amplifier, but your factory speakers will have a similar connector. Okay. We can now outfit the second pod and get that installed as well. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and install the second pod, which has already been prepared. That'll go on just the same as the other one. Once again, be sure to reconnect your speaker harness. Okay, and now we can reinstall the fairing. Be sure to connect the 2 wiring harnesses located at the top. And get the 2 screws started inside the speaker grill opening. Now we can reinstall the top dash portion. And that just clips into place. We'll go ahead and reinstall the turn signal indicator bolts. And the last thing to install would be the speaker grills. Install the outside portion first and then clip the inside. All right, that will conclude the installation of the 06 speakers into the 2015 and newer Road Glide. We'll leave a link in the description for any special tools that we've used. And if you have any questions, you can visit our website at wetsounds.com.